When a woman wants to share the love in a sexual way, I see her responsibility is to invite her man to give her pleasure.
Yeah.
This is the message, the healthy message of a woman to a man in a couple relationship is, darling, I invite you to give me pleasure. As much pleasure as I can bear.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the man's message to a woman is, darling, it will be my great pleasure to give you pleasure. And this is because he can empathize, because his heart is open, and sex is no longer about performing.
No.
And he is delighted to give pleasure to his partner, and he experiences the enormous waves of the female orgasm in his own body.
Yes.
And it's immense joy, and it renews him. And this is my experience, that there's absolute power in the female orgasm. And we as men can open to that and receive that energy. And it's such a great gift.
Yes.
And we don't need to be concerned about our own ejaculation or our own pleasure. My experience of the female pleasure and waves of orgasm are immense in comparison to just my own ejaculation.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, this is not common because of the culture, the influence of the culture, that a woman comes to a man and says, darling, please give me great pleasure.
Yes.
And the man says, oh, I would be so delighted to do that. Yeah. But this is the new way of being in love.
Yes.
It's time. This is the new way of being in love. And one more thing, when I'm talking about the power, and it's transformational power of the female orgasm, I want to speak also about women giving themselves permission not only to have pleasure, but to get angry when anger comes up in the relationship or in her life. A woman needs to be supported to hit or scream and curse and allow the energy of her anger to move, because this is how a woman feels her power, is through her anger. And this is, I think they're related. The power of a woman who's free to be angry is the power of a woman who's free to have pleasure.
Yes.
It's like they go together.
Yes, they are connected. Yes.
And it's fabulous to be with a woman like this. And I speak from my experience with Jijana.
Yes. Yes.
Boom. Strong, the world needs strong, powerful women now who are are standing in their truth.
Yes, that are rooted in their pleasure.
And being able to say no and being able to say yes.
Yes, and be able to be so open.
And you know, this process brings up for men a lot of what I call vertigo.
Yeah.
Which is, we've used the word fear to describe a certain experience in the body. But what happens because of the culture or the matrix is, instead of feeling the feelings in the body of the what we've called fear, the feelings actually feel like vertigo.
Yeah.
The symptoms are dizziness,
yes,
nausea,
yeah,
perspiration, and these feelings don't get felt because what happens is, we've learned, when the vertigo starts to move, we start thinking. We start thinking about if it's sex in performance, or we start thinking about the future or the past. We start worrying, and we never feel the feelings. So they're never set free. They're never the feeling of the fear, which in a fundamental way has to do with dying or not existing. And in the sexual arena, as the man begins to open his heart,
yes,
and so there's no more fucking,
yes,
there's just making love.
yeah,
This brings up for many men the vertigo. It's a feeling that I'll lose my masculinity.
I'm gonna disappear.
I'm gonna lose my. Well, I'm a man. I appear to be a man, and I'm gonna lose my masculinity.
Yeah.
You know, because of all these crazy ideas we were told about what it means to be a man. Oh my God, many crazy ideas. And a woman needs to be able to support a man and make it safe for him to feel his vertigo.
Oh yes.
Even in the midst of the sexual embrace.
Yes. Yes.
And so there's so much we have to give to each other as men and as women, and we have to stop the fighting, oh my God, and the arguing and the defensiveness and taking everything personally and making it so serious. Yeah, relationships are the big arena for waking up and
yes, for dissolve our limitations.
exactly.
It's just an opportunity, because all this energy that comes in your body really go to the blocks and to the areas that we need to
Yes.
to be healed.
Yes, yes. Yes.
So we use that energy to overcome the obstacles of that keep us in the little being.
Yes. Mm.
So, wow. Yes.